Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only English-speaking broadcast of local Puerto Rican news and entertainment. Please subscribe. Keep us alive.
The police reported 5 homicides that occurred in less than 12 hours between September 7th and September 8th. This is the second consecutive night that the authorities have recorded at least 3 violent deaths. The first murder occurred at 4:42 p.m. September 7th in the Plaza de los Salceros in Barrio Obrero, in Santurce. At the scene, the authorities located the body of Dilan Alberto Ramirez Garcia, 31, a resident of Santurce. The deceased had a bullet impact to the head. Meanwhile, at about 7:46 p.m., the violent death of Randy Perez Ortiz, 46, was recorded on Libertad Street in the Patagonia neighborhood in Humacao. Agents from the Homicide Division of the Humacao Criminal Investigation Corps indicated that Perez Ortiz had multiple bullet wounds in different parts of his body. Hours later, the police reported a double murder in Building 5 of the Los Lirios residential complex in Santurce. According to a preliminary report, a call around 11:04 p.m. to the 911 emergency system alerted authorities to 2 people who were shot. Upon arriving at the scene, the agents found the body of Juan Anibal Lopez Ortega, 35, of San Juan, with multiple gunshot wounds to the body. In addition, at the scene, Maximo Sebastion Baiz, 28, a resident of San Juan, was wounded by a bullet, who was transported to the OR hospital in Santurce, where he later died. A violent crime occurred at around 2:58 a.m. September 9th on Highway 833, Kilometer 8.2, in the Santa Rosa 3 neighborhood in Guaynabo. According to a preliminary report, the lifeless body of a man was found at the scene on the side of the road along with a 2009 white 4-door Honda Civic. At the time of this broadcast, the identification of the deceased, who had multiple bullet wounds, was not specified. However, the police described him as a man between 21 and 30 years old, who wore a black shirt, black shorts, black and red tennis shoes with black socks. In addition, he is black with long black dreadlocks hair, a long beard, and a height of approximately 5 feet 6 inches. After these crimes, the number of violent deaths so far this year amounts to 406, about 62 murders more than those reported last year to this date when the figure was 344, according to the police. Then again, September 9th at 6 a.m. a 6th person was shot to death and another was injured in events that occurred at kilometer 30.3 of the PR1 in Caguas, police reported. According to the preliminary report, at around 12:30 a.m. the authorities found a body shot inside a car. The victim has not been identified at the time of this broadcast. In addition, there was another person at the scene who received several gunshot wounds, for which he was transported to a hospital. Police closed PR1 in both directions for the purpose of the investigation, but the road reopened at around 5:43 a.m. A man was also shot and killed this September 8th at 11 a.m. near Building 20 of a residential complex in San Sebastion, police reported. According to a preliminary report from the police, a call to the 911 emergency system alerted of a situation around 10 a.m. At the scene, the agents came across the body of Juan Quiles, 41, who lived in the housing complex.
Authorities of the Municipal Police of San Juan will analyze the videos of the security cameras in the Plaza de Santurce as part of the administrative investigation of several rank officers, after there was no intervention in a barroom brawl last Friday night. Videos of the brawl, that spilled into the street, were posted on social networks. The videos show a fight between alleged tourists with employees of a business. In the midst of the attacks, several assaults took place and the destruction of property. The police did not intervene. The following video shows a bystander's documentation of what happened.
racist. Police.
Well, it was among yourself.
The court of Fajardo found cause to arrest the correctional officer Richard Vazquez Diaz on charges of Arms Act, possession of controlled substances and violations of the law on protection of wildlife. Vazquez Diaz, 41, was arrested yesterday, Monday, by agents of the Police Bureau after searching his residence based on confidential information as part of an investigation by the Stolen Vehicles Division of the Fajardo District. A bond of $30,000, $10,000 for each of the three charges, an amount that the defendant paid, for which he was released and under electronic supervision until the holding of the preliminary hearing scheduled for September 14.
7 women were wounded by gunshots between Saturday and Sunday of this holiday weekend, in different cases that are being investigated by the police in several municipalities. Of the victims shot, 2 are 17-year-olds. One of them was wounded in the leg on Saturday night in Toa Alta, in a shooting in which a man was killed. Meanwhile, the other minor, also shot in the leg, and an 18-year-old who was with her near the lookout point in Arecibo, around 1 a.m. on Saturday. Then 4 women suffered gunshot wounds Sunday, September 5. 2 women were shot in the vicinity of a pig farm in San Lorenzo, from where they were transported in a safe condition in the early hours of the morning. One is 24 years old and the other 23 years old. Later, at about 6:57 p.m., 2 women suffered gunshot wounds in an incident in which they murdered a man inside a vehicle in the El Coqui neighborhood, on the main street in Salinas. Both women are residents of Guayama. They were transported to a hospital.
On Wednesday, September 8, the Caguas court found cause for the arrest of boxer Juan Lopez Rivera on 7 counts of aggravated assault, physical, psychological and threat abuse as a result of 4 complaints submitted by his ex-partner Andrea Ojeda Cruz. Justice Rivera Morales imposed bail of $175,000 on the former super bantamweight champion, 122 pounds, of the World Boxing Organization. In addition, Ojeda Cruz will have on his person a system that if the aggressor approaches the victim at any time, it will immediately notify the authorities.
Edgardo J. Rosado Rodriguez, one of the suspects in the murder of Morovis municipal employee Eugenio Martinez-Rodriquez, pleaded not guilty September 8, before federal judge Giselle Lopez Soler. The body of the Morovis, Puerto Rico municipal employee, 57, was found on Monday, August 23, in the Palmerito neighborhood, in Corozal, after being reported missing by his sister on August 14. The body was in a state of putrefaction, for which the Institute of Forensic Sciences confirmed its identity through the analysis of dental X-rays. The second individual implicated in the murder of Martinez-Rodriquez fled Puerto Rico.
Former Representative Nelson Del Valle, who was indicted by a federal grand jury in August 2020 on charges of conspiracy, theft of federal funds, kickbacks, fraud and obstruction of justice, will face trial in Room 6 of the federal court in San Juan. In an order issued this week, the judge scheduled the selection of the jury for November 29, 2021.
After a week and a half of interruptions, the Director of Generation of the Electric Power Authority, PREPA, William Rios Mera, assured today, Thursday, that the public corporation has enough load in its plants to meet the demand of subscribers and, even, attend emergencies without resorting to selective blackouts. They added that, on August 30, Unit Number 1 of the Aguirre plant in Salinas went out of operation due to a breakdown, losing 450 megawatts. The situation was complicated because Unit Number 2 of that same plant, also 450 megawatts, had been out of service since July due to scheduled environmental maintenance. Both units are already in regular operation. Meanwhile, the executives assured that the current budget of $106 million is sufficient for the maintenance of the generation units.
The President of the United States, Joe Biden, announced September 9 that any company with more than 100 employees will have to require their workforce to be vaccinated against COVID-19 or to present a negative diagnostic test weekly. The president presented new federal vaccination requirements against COVID-19 that will affect about 100 million Americans, in order to increase vaccination rates and stop the spread of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. Workers in health facilities that receive federal Medicare and Medicaid services, as well as employees of the executive and federal contractors, should also be inoculated. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Help us survive.